I'm Hannah Jonathan from Melbourne, Sanctuary Chair. We've got Lucy Clemenger from Architects, Martin Catherine from KTA, and Joshua Griffin from Kirby Architects.
Thank you. And thank you for giving us the opportunity to present CSL to you today, the global headquarters of this amazing Australian success story. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land, the Wurundjeri people on which this headquarters is now built, and we pay our respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. The site, as you probably know, is the biggest building in the area by some margin, is sitting in the middle of this little slither of land in between O'Connell and the Elizabeth Street Boulevard, right on the Haymarket roundabout. And really this is a story of bringing CSL back to the place where they began 100 years or over 100 years ago, just around the corner in the Eliza and Malta Institute on the corner there, in the heart of the biomedical precinct, which is globally recognised. We really saw this through the lens of this evolution of industry. The Melford Motors heritage building sitting, or anchoring really the southern part of this precinct, really that early 20th century industrial piece, and then our new global beacon of innovation in this biotech or biopharma mode that we're all in now in CSL, and they've really grown that globally as one of the leaders in the field. So the whole precinct, which we're lucky enough to master plan with PDG, our client, for the base building or for the base buildings, and then CSL were moved into this stage 2 building that we're presenting today. So the innovation precinct really comprised the University of Melbourne and their feeder university into all the health precinct, CSL taking the bulk of this building, and the Jamar bioincubator sitting right in the middle. The broader vision for the project prior to the move, and one of my partners, Christina, will be presenting the overall fit out in the interiors category later, so I don't want to steal all of her thunder, but broadly for CSL, their vision was to bring R&D back to this precinct, or their R&D back to this precinct to maintain that and propel that identity globally. The lab spaces were really important for them to demonstrate global best practice. Meeting spaces that they really needed. They weren't there in their original facility that was sitting at the very top corner of the biomedical precinct in Poplar Grove in Parkville. Expansion space for them to continue to grow, and then this idea of incubation to foster that next stage of evolution and innovation in the industry. The biggest challenge for us at the very start of this project was convincing their whole team to move from this beautiful, almost suburban quality campus sitting in the middle of Parkville, surrounded by parkland that they've been at for 100 years. It was a purpose-built facility 100 years ago, to this new city building. So we really tried to create this identity of a vertical campus with this beautiful parkland that was sitting around there. The Parkville campus we reinterpreted as a green spine almost running through the building. We call the tree walk in this case, that really bound all of their spaces together as you move throughout each of the floors in the building. Huge technical challenges through the building. We originally had designed with PDG a commercial building that was going to be, going to the bulk of the market, so it had to appeal to the bulk of the market. Large commercial floor plates. You would have heard all of that before. We had to make some substantial changes so that we had these ideal envelopes for labs, reducing heat load and things like that I'll talk through a little bit later. Huge voids through this space for all of the mechanical plant equipment, and a completely different lifting and amenity strategy that we hadn't seen before. And the overall program of the building, it's around 32,000 square metres. Over half of that is lab, so 18,000 square metres of lab through that middle section of the building, which make up the bulk of the operation of the building. Their workplace levels through the tops of their offices, and a bigger move for them was really creating this public interface through the lower levels of the building, through ground through level 1, for them to have everything from their global board meetings to a public interface and a story to tell back to the public and the community. And the key ideas that we really drew out of that this project itself had to play a bigger role than just being, having a commercial identity landing at street level. They had to play a bigger role in the precinct, so a connected precinct. The building needed to embody everything that CSL stood for, and it was unique to them. And creating this knowledge hub, so incubating new ideas and fostering new ideas in connection to the rest of the biomedical community. Our broader urban response was to create a through block lift. We had to do this through planning anyway, but we decided to dial that up with a larger town square move that I'll go through shortly on Elizabeth Street. We then really harvested some of that industrial context that I talked before about, starting with Melford Motors, and that reinterpreted that rhythm, I guess, through the street wall and the podium expression. The tower form itself was really balancing this idea of the gateway to the biomedical precinct and making sure that we can still be respectful to the scale, which did start off in this area as a 60-metre height limit. And then the tower articulation itself, so that really progressive and highly articulated sculptural form that was really there for the identity of CSL. Some terracing as well for the upper level views, as well as the responsive environmental skin that we wrapped around the building. So those urban connections at lower level, Haymarket Roundabout on the right hand side, you can see in the sketch here, how we really started to draw this desire line, I guess, from the new metro and Melbourne University all the way down to the markets, activating O'Connell Street as we sort of go through these finer grained streets of the north of the city. So that larger town square I'll go through shortly. This is Elizabeth Street down the bottom here, so north is off to the right hand side. Stage 3 is a future stage with a different landowner. 2 minutes to go. Entry of the building sitting in the middle, and the town square on the right. Renderings, unfortunately, no photos yet of the town square in its activated state. The lower levels of the building, where we've really, as I mentioned before, reinterpreted the rhythm and the scale of the context. This brise-soleil that sits in the middle of these limestone fins, the bronze brise-soleil that takes heat load off the building, allows us to mask and hide some of the amazing technical feats that have occurred within this building. There's a lab sitting on level 3. The labs then further extend into the lower tower levels on the left-hand side. The workplace all arranged around this tree walk sitting in the centre of the floor plate, which you can see here through the labs as well. A real change in operation for them in their lab spaces. And the sun shading, this net that was cast around this building that we tuned both the climatic conditions as well as the internal environment, and we were able to go from the relatively calm commercial piece to really dial up the intensity of the fins at the lower level, so that we created more depth, more shadow, to make sure that we really had the best environment for labs at lower levels, and then open up to the upper levels. See how that sits looking up from street level, accentuating the sculptural form in the skyline and opening up to the upper levels of the building. We've got about 6 levels of plant on top of this building because of the operation. And the knowledge hub, so presenting as a knowledge hub at the lower levels of the building through the mezzanine and level 1 above a big town hall space that looks back towards the city, so that there is this reminder that they are a Melbourne business born and bred, and they're looking back down the boulevard of Elizabeth Street. The tree walk at the lower levels and the entry lobby that you'll go through on the site visits. The auditorium space and the Jamar bio-incubator sitting in the middle of this building, where CSL and the state government have both invested money to seed those new ideas, so really for that next evolution of biomed homegrown in Melbourne.
Sorry, it's
Done? All good?